Hola, bom dia. Munson here from expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal show. So it's an hola, bom dia, alegria to you from a somewhat overcast Silver Coast this morning. How are you? Where are you? And what's the weather like where you are? We're going to dream today. We're going to be doing some dreaming. Oh, look, Alyssa's here. Elra, Andrea, Stephen, Antonio. We'll say a hello to all of you personally in just a moment. And I have to say, I have been accused of reading out comments. I'll put that into context in just a moment. But it's quite a good point of order, actually, as to the flavor of the show, the direction of the show. I'd like to have a little chat with you about that. But the main event today is Marvellous Martinhal. Okay, so we went to stay there a little while ago, and I've been hesitant in sharing. Here we go. Look, Marvellous Martinhal with you. There's the kids. There's the Munson youngsters in the bubble car there that's in the wonderful bar of the Chiado residence where we stayed. And as I say, I've been a little bit reluctant because I've not known how to do it justice. We are going into full-on dreaming, Portugal dreaming this morning at the high end, at the blue chip end, at the golden visa end. Okay, so permit me, come on this journey with me, if you will. We know we've got the law of attraction technology to make all of this possible for you. And I think we should treat ourselves to a little look at the absolute luxury of what Martinhal represents. And come with me, come and dream and come and luxuriate. The bar has been set high. The kids had a fantastic time, which was wonderful. But the bad news about our trip is they just want all this stuff every day now, like pancakes for breakfast, dusted with icing sugar, and an amazing bunk bed, and all these wonderful things. And I'll do my little slideshow. I'll do my little break in Lisbon slideshow for you in just a moment. But I do have to say hello to a few folks. What's this, Peter Bleach? What's going on? Let's find out who's here this morning. And I say that slightly hesitantly because, a bit of feedback about the show has been that Carl just reads. Well, he gets a guest on, and then he starts reading the comments out and lacing the show. Oh, this isn't a direct quote, but this is how I've made it sound in my own mind. And then he laces the show with innuendo. Which I think this particular correspondent thought was a bit of a distraction from the main event. Now, I take that on board. I do take that on board. I do feel that innuendo is in my DNA. It's in me. There you go. There's a good example. And I'm not sure that can really change. Is the news I bear this morning. And that's not to say that this person doesn't make a good point, because, when you get a guest on, you want to be talking to the guest and getting the juice from the guest. And what I think this is about our the distinction of the two qualities of Expats Portugal, knowledge and community. The Good Morning Portugal show, this thing that you're watching now, is a morning chat. People connecting, people saying hi, people getting together, having a laugh, raising the spirits, that sort of thing. You've only got to listen to our theme tune, haven't you? Which puts a spring in your step. And yes, we get distracted and we chat. And when guests come on, it can go in all sorts of directions. And I think that's part of the charm. Now, I also understand how terribly infuriating that might be for somebody who sees something advertised. I think that was this person's complaint, and quite rightly so. And I do understand, is like, this morning, Marvellous Martinhal. We haven't really talked about it yet, and we're 5 minutes in, and I'm going to say hello to everybody in the comments. That's how it tends to go. So what I think we should do, this is the community bit. On the knowledge bit, I think probably, and those of you who watch the recordings of the webinars, who are actually at the webinars, talking of which, there's one tonight, as a just landed webinar this evening. Have I got a look? Oh, yes, I have. Look, this is tonight. So you'd see that and you go, okay, if that was on in the morning, just landed, first impressions of Portugal from our community, and it would be laced with innuendo if it's in the morning, and I'd be distracted by comments. That's why we have the webinar on a Thursday night. And I also think that's why it would only be fair to have a separate section of the YouTube channel, or even another YouTube channel, with the focused bits of information that people are looking for, without all the fluff and the fluff and the foam and the bonhomie that makes this such an enjoyable thing for me, and I think for other people. So I don't think I'm ever going to stop reading out comments, because to me that's the lifeblood of what we do here. But I do take on board the point that we can get a bit distracted, and it can be a bit innuendo laden, and guests can get somewhat hidden in that mix sometimes. Well, I remember, happy birthday, Julie Marsh, and I hope you're having a glass of Matthias Rosé. She changed my view of Matthias Rosé. She really did. But lots of love to you, Julie. Happy birthday to you, and lots of love to the whole family over there in Fundão this morning. I was going to play a little film about kiwi production, kiwi fruit production. Shall I do that? If you want me to play the kiwi fruit film, which is beautiful, let me or say so in the comments, and I'll do that. See, we get distracted already. So I'm going to go to your comments now, and then we're going to have a look at Marvellous Martinhal this morning. And goodness knows how long that's going to take. Antonio F., bon dia to you, my friend. Great to hear from you. One of the wonderful contributors to this enterprise on a regular and very giving basis, Antonio F. Stephen Wells as well, much the same. Bon dia to you, my friend. Andrea is here. Andrea, bon dia to you, Andrea Hogan. I think we'll hear from more from you in just a moment. Elra, good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. Portuguese up there in Finland. I forget, it is Finland, isn't it? Hola, bon dia, alegria. I'm so sorry. I mean, it's a bit like, how sometimes Americans look at Europe. I'm thinking of Scandinavia, and I'm thinking it is Finland. But then again, is it Norway? Do forgive me. Alyssa Pamol. Hello, Alyssa. Hello, hola, bon dia, alegria. Our very wonderful correspondent whose recipe we shared the other day, me and Gava. You may remember that. I'll never forget it. Mark Stoll, bon dia to you. Paul Richards. How's it going, Mark? And Paul, greetings from a cold, miserable Arrogate. Learning all about rain again. Yes, wet rain, real rain, right, in Yorkshire. Looking forward to tonight's webinar. We got some great guests, actually. I think it should be called the Hank and Connie Show, which we already did on the morning stint, didn't we? The other day, talked to Hank and Connie, which was great fun. And they are doing an amazing job. They're visiting 10 places in 30 days in Portugal, and they're documenting a lot of it in the forum. So you can see that at expatsportugal.com/community. And let me just put that slide on the screen again. Just landed. First impressions of Portugal from our community. Paula will be there as well. Paula Dreyfus, who's made herself really at home in Porto as well. So Hank and Connie, who are on the road, and Paula, who's made her home here in Portugal, in Porto. So it should be good fun tonight. And yes, more focused, less innuendo, and fewer comments. Everything in its right place. Peter Bleachers here, bon dia alegria from Escortio Fundão. Already Lynn seeded the deck with a little help from Lloyd. You see? And when he bowls me an underarm like that, the only way I can respond is by saying, yes, I've heard you have a big deck, Peter, and it's legendary in Fundão. You see, that's what happens here on the Good Morning Portugal show, and that's unlikely to change. On holiday in Denmark, it's cold and raining. Sorry to laugh, but I hate it when that happens. They go away on holiday, and you know that the weather's better at home, possibly. Cold and raining in Denmark. Denmark must have other charms other than its weather. Have a good time, Andrea. I hope that clears up for you. Fiona Doherty is here as well. Bon dia to you, Fiona. Martin Jol, isn't he the Dutch former Spurs manager? Now, you see, I don't know. Oh, Martin Jol. I see. Very good. I see what you did there, Pete. Very good. I'll see if we can weave that back in a little bit later on when we look at Marvellous Martinhal and we dream a little. And I know as well, here's the thing. Talking about, if I give you a little preview now, look, there is the Martinhal set of family hotels and resorts where I was lucky enough to stay a few weekends back. Algarve, Chiado, and Cascais. We are talking about luxury, and I realised that by talking about this, we heard the horrible news, didn't we, from the United States that Portugal is back on its please don't go list. I know they don't call it that, but that's what it amounts to. You're not forbidden in the States from coming to Portugal, but they're very worried about the Delta variant emanating from here, allegedly. So it's actually quite unkind in a way to share these beautiful places with you. But I do it in the spirit, as you know, of keeping the Portuguese pilot light lit and dreaming a little without a vision the people perish. It says in the Bible, right? And this is a quote that's been used by many visionaries and people who work in the law of attraction world and all that sort of thing. We do have to be thinking about what we'd ideally like, as well as facing the grim reality sometimes of what's going on, right? So that's, permit me on that basis, if you will. If people don't like innuendo, they really should not take it the wrong way. Very good. We need a little innuendo. They don't like it up, Stephen. We need a little jingle, don't we? Bom dia a todos de Amsterdam. You see, we say hello to people. We read their comments, and that's what this is about. This is more along the community lines of what is so important about Expats Portugal. Morning to you. Have a good morning. Cannot stay to join you. I love how you do that, Jacqueline. You just pop in to say goodbye, and we're that's all good as far as I'm concerned. As long as you come in and say hello at all, it's great. And I'm sure you're out doing good works. I'm looking forward to having a coffee with you soon and catching up. Margarita Lopez is here. Bon dia to you and your household, to Andy and to your marvelous canine accompaniment there. Show us the Kiwi. Show us the Kiwi. The song has gone up. The sound has gone up. The call, the battle cry for the Kiwi. Okay, yeah, we will do that in just a moment after we've said hello to everybody. Carolina Kirk. Good morning, Carolina. Bon dia from a sunny Vila do Conde. Love to see the Kiwi production. Thanks. Okay, we will. And it's in Portuguese. A chance for you to, as I play it, I want you to just really focus. We've got Mia Ejmeres with us tomorrow, the wonderful Mia Ejmeres, and her very special way of teaching Portuguese online. And just to prove that she's not a machine or a robot, far from it. In fact, she's a cat-loving ballet dancer as well in real life, but she'll be here putting in an appearance as she does every month with us. So if you want to talk to her about anything to do with Portuguese language, a little bit of culture as well, join us tomorrow morning. So yes, when I play the Kiwi production, when we finally get round to it, and then we'll get round to showing you the Martinhal snaps, see how many Portuguese words you can pull out from this production I'm about to play after we've read the comments. Bon dia from Jeff Jackson. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Good to have your company. Yesterday, actually, you asked a great question or two. Yes, it's Finland. I got it right. Honestly, I'm surprised you remember everyone and their locations. Truly impressive. Elra, that's so kind of you to say so, because I do not pride myself on having a good memory. It's a wonder to me as well. Actually, the less I stress about it and just let it come through me, the better it is. But as soon as I start, you know how it is when you start doubting yourself. Oh dear, is she in Finland? Is she in Norway? Or was it Sweden? You know, I was right first time, wasn't I? And we doubt ourselves. So Elra, thank you for that. I need to rent a dog-friendly residence in Lisbon for 3K a month. Help. David, why would you need help? With 3K in your hand, I think, I mean, I'm assuming, yeah, for 3K a month, you really shouldn't have too much of a problem. And the places in Portugal, lettings are pet friendly generally. Might be a little bit different in swanky Lisbon. You know, things are changing, and maybe people aren't quite so easygoing as they used to be, laissez-faire. But then again, you know, the pandemic's come, and people are in economic dire straits, so that might change things as well. But I don't think it's a big problem. Look, there you go. Look, Antonio F. agreeing with me. For that amount, you might find a palace. Fear not. Calma. Tranquilo. David Durham will help you with that. This hive mind here at Expats Portugal will help you with that. Maybe we could have a dedicated innuendo show, and what cool, like they don't like it up them, and then another one for the stiffs. All right, easy. But I see again. You see, that's class. That is when you look at what Pete did there. And stiffs is, I mean, I understand the criticism. You know, I take criticism seriously, not too seriously. Otherwise, I'd be weeping into me non-alcoholic beer. But I take it on board. You know, we're here to serve from the point of community and knowledge. So I do get it, and I know innuendo isn't everybody's cup of tea. You know, it does seem a little bit smutty and puerile. And I suppose it's quite British, isn't it? But I can't help being that guy. I know I can, and I could probably get medication or whatever, or psychotherapy for it, but I actually don't want to. Happy birthday, Julie, from us. From the bleachers to the marshes. Hello from Martin. What? Hello from Martinhal in Quinta do Logo. Been here 2 months. Wonderful. So you are in one of their residences, Jill. Tell us more. I think that's great that if you're actually in the place I'm talking about, we can hear direct from you, first-hand testimony. Peter, I guess that stiff show would be very boring. Stop it, everybody. Stop it. Love the innuendos. You like it when I slip it in then. Don't encourage me. Don't stop, says Carolina. Glad of anything, stiff these You see, and none of you need much encouragement either. Carpe diem, bon dia a todos. Good morning. Good morning, Carpe, me old mate, if I may refer to you as that. Bon dia de Londres from P. Ann Jackson. Hello, Anne. How are you? Bon dia alegria from Porto as well, from Lauren and Andrew. And actually, I'm going to put this to you. I like to think we're quite straightforward and honest and authentic here as well. You know, we have a range of views, don't we? We all tolerate each other's funny ways. And one of them is, I think one of the suggestions about innuendo and British humor is that sometimes American people don't get it. Am I right? Or is that going to inflame and trigger the American sensibility? Tell me if that's true or not. Robert, you can answer that one, can't you? Bon dia from Paris, Val de Santiago, Alentejo. How are you finding it, Robert? I mean, that just sounds fantastic, the Val de Santiago in Alentejo. Oh, have you got the vibes you're looking for there? Do let us know, please. And your music, wow. Do feel free to talk about what you do, Robert, here with us. Nice to see another advocate for the Algarve, Mr. Frank and Rachel. And maybe we should start a Good Morning Algarve. Ooh, spin-off, or part of the great network that, you know, the Expats Portugal TV. Paul, I mean, I'd watch that. Wouldn't you watch Frank? Especially if it was in the afternoon or evening. What's the expression? Once the sun is past the yard arm, 5 o'clock somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Frank's Algarve show. Definitely, that would be required viewing. Joel, bon dia to you, Joel. How are you, my friend? Dominique Gore. Oh, thanks for all the car tips, everybody. Safely on the road. Nice insurance policy. Fantastic. All paid for at the multi-banco machine. Amazing technology here. Bon dia a todos from Dominique. Bon dia, Joel from Antonio. You see, it's all about the comments. We love saying hello to each other in the mornings. Bon dia, Carl. Got the big boy pants on today. Thanks for the great advice yesterday from the doc. I'll take all the credit for that. Yep, absolutely. He's good, isn't he? I mean, there's a man with a sense of humor. Despite having his challenges and, you know, being a serious medical and serious political man, terrific sense of humor as well. And that's what we're all about. Yes, we are owners of a villa here in Quinta do Lago. QDL. That's great. So it's a timeshare sort of vibe, isn't it? Not that phrase would be used. I think investment is the best way to look at it. Timeshare does conjure up a whole different culture, doesn't it? Of being locked in a room, having been lured there by a foreign holiday, and you have to battle it out. You have to battle it out, often with a Liverpudlian timeshare salesman with the gift of the gab. And you leave having signed something with some keys and a lot of explaining to do to the wife. Do you like it here? Yes. Well, we're going to be coming here more often. David Durham, we get it. If you know what I mean. Again, in what 7 or 8 words there, he's managed to respond and pop in a bit of innuendo. There we go. That's brilliant. The confirmation we needed. No, we definitely enjoy innuendos. Thank you, Lauren. We are finding it very sunny. And yes, we found the vibe over in the Alentejo. Robert, that's fantastic. Morning glory, keep it up. If I had the innuendo klaxon, it would be worn out. Carl, please let Frank know that there is plenty of linseed oil left. I think we have discovered the Madeira shade that keeps his complexion so beautifully woody. Is that what you say about the man? Him and his woody complexion? Oh dear, the floodgates have opened. Bathing in innuendo. I'm an Aussie living in the US. Sometimes I don't get it. What were we talking about? That's another TV show I'd watch. The Aussie in America. That must be very interesting at times. I'm an American. I love this show, and I get most jokes. Very entertaining. Thank you, Andrea. No, not you see. I knew she wouldn't like that, but it is. You know, we'll have a little look at this how it works with Martinhal, because if you're loaded or you're going to come into some money soon. And actually, it'd be good to talk to you about this, Jill. You know, let us know. I've got it down as high end. Maybe I've got the wrong idea. Maybe it's just my poverty conscious ways speaking there. So yeah, it's not timeshare, but there is an investment option, isn't there, with Martinhal, where you do invest in a property and you get access to it, and it's let out on your behalf at a very good rate. as well, rate of return, and you can do a golden visa thing. So, you know, if you've got the money, it's a fantastic setup. It really is. Talking of having loads of money, Lee McGrady in Lisbon. Good morning, people. Just checking in. He's going to be on the show on Monday. We're going to have him on Monday morning talking about his gardening business and a bit of gardening Q&A first thing in the morning. But he's got a job offer as Lee McGrady. So tune in on Monday for that. If you know somebody who wants to come to Portugal and get a job in the gardening industry, and you'd have a lot of fun working with Lee. He's no stranger to innuendo and downright filthy talk. Actually, he'll be a perfect work buddy. So if you know someone who needs a job when they get to Portugal, or somebody in Portugal who wants a job working in the outdoors, tune in on Monday. We'll find out more. We're looking for the right person with Lee. Bon dia a todos, and Carl. Ian, sorry to get back to you yesterday. We will have that phone call. Just discovered a local Portuguese restaurant. Wow, in Hertfordshire. So we'll be trying it in the next few days. We'll report on Good Morning Algarve. Yes, very funny. Actually, can we have some pictures of that? And if you tell the proprietor that you're sending in pictures to Good Morning Portugal, that'll be wonderful. A few selfies there, and you might get a free coffee. Who knows? Hola, bon dia. Good morning, Portugal. Our villa is 8 minutes away from the Martinhal Sagres. Lovely place. Sagres is a magnificent, magic place. If you want to relax, this is the place to do it. So there you go. True to form, 20 minutes in, we haven't really started talking about Martinhal yet because we're too busy having a laugh and saying hello to each other. Algarve beckons for R&R. So these are Lisboetas, the Alfacinas. Actually, it was the receptionist at Martinhal Chiado who told me that the Lisbon people were called Alfacinas, the lettuce people. Yes, high-end villas to buy and let out on your behalf, or not if you choose not to. So there you go, Jill. Thank you very much for that. Yes, we won't be using the T word. Help, Carl, says Paul. This is part of my new address in the Algarve, but I don't know how to say it. So that's going to be interesting when you get boozed up and need a taxi home. And then Paul gets into this is a Yorkshireman, drunk, in a taxi in Portugal, asking for, all right, lad, can you take us back to Aldeia das Basquinhas, in Megilalaya? What could possibly go wrong, Paul? And I was going to say, you'll be giving them a big tip. Hey, if they get you home safely. But Yorkshire people aren't known for that, are they? Here's a drink, and you just pass him a tea bag or something like that. Bon dia, says Will. I came to Portugal to be a gardener, but ended up being a firefighter. That is a plot twist. A lifeguard, an avioni. What's that? An avionioi rescuer, then an epidemiologist. Portugal, living the mundane life. Yes, not quite as you expected, I suspect. But what a journey. And will be immortalized in a movie. I think Willem Dafoe needs to play you in the movie of that life. Bon dia, Mr. Munson. Like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The numbers don't lie. We, the people, watch because it resonates. It vibrates with Raquel. Show the love and keep watching, liking, and subscribing. Raquel, good on you. That's what we need. And I'm not complaining either. I'm very happy. We don't do it for the numbers. We really don't. I mean, how miserable is that if the only reason you're doing a YouTube channel is to get loads of numbers and make a fortune? I mean, there is an appeal to that for sure, but you could lose your soul very easily if you don't actually love what you're doing. And I must love this, right? To get up at 9 o'clock every morning when I could be a much lazier expat than this. But I'm up at least by 5 to 9 every morning to sit in front of you like this. And I do love it. Portuglish, following you on Insta and YouTube now. Look, another sensation launched from the bowels of the Good Morning Portugal enterprise. I'm sure you don't want to be referred to as that, Andy. Maybe you do. Thanks for your support, Man Cave. From the Algarve on Friday. Well, they get about, don't they? I only managed to do it from the north of Portugal. Man Cave goes south. Hey! On Friday. Oh, dear. Okay, we do have to be a little bit serious, I think, for Martinhal. Or do we? I don't know. Oh, no, I was going to play you the Kiwi. I'm going to drink the rest of my tea while the Kiwi movie is on, right? Road trip. That sounds like a lot of fun. We'll see, says, oh, no, sorry, a dog and a donkey rehabilitator. I thought that's what you meant. Is that the Latin name for it? Frankie, Billy, Donkey Beaner, and Princess Cheche. Oh, yeah, and those cats that survived the 2017 fires. What a life. Man Cave with a tan, road trip. We'll see if I can make it this week to the Man Cave. You weren't up till 4 a.m. watching the last one last week? I don't know. Since I'm not involved anymore, it's really It's really become very bohemian and of questionable repute. Honestly, I was trying to keep things up to a very high and professional standard. But the Tan Cave, there you go. That's what it is. A Tan Cave on Friday. Don't miss it. If a smutty male puerile humor is your thing, but they also talk about very serious issues on there. Like, I thought it's very girly when I tuned in a couple of weeks ago, though, talking about the right food to eat in a man cave. What is wrong with you and your orthorexia? Anyway, and I'm just bitter and jealous now. I'm not involved anymore. Ignore me. Ignore me. Right. Okay. The Kiwi film. Okay. Kiwi the movie. Enjoy this for a moment. This is our prelude, our foreplay, if you like, to looking at Marvellous Martinhal. Here we go.
Em terras lusas, banhadas pelo Atlântico e beijadas pelo sol, a vida acontece e surpreende. Gente trabalhadora e apaixonada pelo que faz, com mãos hábeis e sorriso franco, planta e colhe da terra o que de melhor ela dá. Submetemos os nossos kiwis a um grande estudo na Universidade Católica. Comparamos os kiwis de Portugal com kiwis de diversas proveniências. Fizemos testes de degustação e de caracterização física e química. Concluímos que os kiwis de Portugal são os preferidos dos consumidores, porque têm a doçura, a acidez e a consistência perfeitas. A terra aquece, as raízes acordam, a seiva corre, os ramos brotam, o fruto nasce e vinga. Doce, ácido, suculento, com um sabor equilibrado e único. Kiwis de Portugal, os seus preferidos. Prove e apaixone-se.
There's actually a clip there, isn't it? Well, not a clip, a little promotional video from the Kiwi Marketing Board of Portugal. How many words did you get? I got fruta and kiwi, definitely. I also got succulent, which is a good word to use. I dare you to use that today on your journey around the world, whichever bit of the world you are. Please weave in succulent into your conversation somehow today. Extra points for you if you do that. And único, I think, unique. So how lovely was that? I know it's marketing kiwis, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Plenty of vitamin C in there in your kiwi fruit. And in the laboratory, who knew that all of that goes into it? Yes, Andrew, isn't that? It was absolutely beautiful, wasn't it? And that's why I asked those guys if I could show that video. They said yes. Oh, man, says Elra, these videos. Who speaks like that? Well, it's a funny Portuguese thing, isn't it, Elra? You know, what is it? Antena dois. There's the guy who does a lot of the voiceovers on the radio doesn't speak like that in real life, I'm sure. There's a very sort of special stylized way of speaking on the railways. I mean, we know that the girl from Ipanema grew up to do the voiceovers on the railways, didn't she? Comboios. Plataforma dois. The sexiest railway announcer in the whole world, in Lisbon for sure. And no, nobody does speak like that in real life, but it happens, doesn't it? In videos, at the railway station, and on the radio. Antena 3. Heading to Praia de Luz in February, so may have to visit Frank and buy the man some winter wood stain. Yes, he's a man who does like to look after his wood. Is Ian for sure. And Pete's big deck is the envy of the south of Portugal, I believe. Bit of rivalry going on there. Could get into trouble using the word succulent. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I meant. That's exactly what I was hoping for there, Dominique. Try it. Mil Cadella has just finished her season. Try hanging on to a Dane in the heat. Oh, my goodness. Right. Okay. So, yes. So the hormones, a hormone disrupted Great Dane there. Yikes. Where is it, Carl? Where's what? The video or the Kiwis or what? Or the name of the place where You live, but wow, I can imagine. Good luck to all the small dogs getting their leg over a grate. Who put him up to it? Dogs in heat. Discussion point for the man cave. Yes, probably best done over there rather than here this morning. Just joined the middle of the ad and thought you had gone all commercial. Well, it's funny you should say that. Resisting that in many ways, but you got. I mean, oh, where's the area of the video? Well, okay, just to finish that with Louise there. I played it, Louise, because it's just got so many beautiful visuals. And to answer Paul's question, the area of the video, kiwi production, I think it's a fruit that does well in central and even, central northern Portugal. There are probably kiwi farms all over Portugal, but I've seen some pretty massive kiwi farms in the central area. I don't know where those specific shots are from, Paul, there. And here's another Portuguese thing, right? Portas a crosscheck. Maybe Portuguese pilots speak in a stylized way as well. Antonio F., they said Portuguese kiwis are Portuguese preferred because they have the best balance between sweetness and acidity. I thought so. Thank you, though, Antonio F., for that. And it is a sharp fruit, isn't it? If you ever put a kiwi fruit in a smoothie, it ruins it. I think they're best eaten like eggs. Chop them in half and scoop it out with a spoon, with a teaspoon. Or, I mean, some people eat the whole thing, don't even eat the furry bit. So you actually literally get a furry cup left, where if you do eat it in the way that I said. A thunder duck, bon dia. Portuguese fruits are incredible. Yes, I think I've said it on here before now. They are at least between 3 and 10 times sweeter than any fruit I've ever tasted, because it just gets sent. All the worst fruit, I think, of the world of the producers get sent to England, where I'm from. Originally, it's the same, isn't it? With tea leaves, the olive oil, you end up with the bottom end of the market, and I think that's changed because of consumer demand. But certainly, when olive oil only used to be put in people's ears back in the day, it was just the leftovers. And I'm sure it's the same with fruit. It's got a long way to travel, isn't it? I mean, bananas are picked green, aren't they, for England, and then ripened in nitrogen or something. And then you compare and contrast that to the little finger of Madeiran banana. Oh, wow, absolutely right, Andy. Portuguese fruit is incredible. We could just live on that. News just in from Thunderduck, an 8.2 earthquake in Alaska. Yikes. Hope everyone's okay there. Personally, I prefer anything Portuguese. First, because it's tasty. Second, because of principles. Well done, Elra. Do you include politics in that? You probably do, actually. Thunderduck. Really? Oh, I see. No, really. Yes, tsunami warnings. Oh, no, really? Yes, really. In Alaska there. Yikes. What can you do in these sort of situations except hope and pray, if that's how you lean with these things? Awful news, that, by the sound of it. 8.2, that's a big one. Carolina says, I've seen kiwis grown in Arcos de Valdevez up north. So yes, a northern thing. So yeah, if you want your avocados to grow in Portugal and your oranges down south, kiwis seem to cope better up north. And yes, just saw that. Yeah, dear oh dear, the 8.2 there on the Richter scale. The earthquake, possible tsunamis in Alaska. Hola, yes, buy Portuguese bananas, not Costa Rican. No offense to Costa Rica. No, absolutely right, Khadija. I mean, they're delicious, aren't they? Why would you? You can keep it local. I mean, they're still doing a few food miles, aren't they, if they come in from Madeira? But anyway, the best English fish is exported to Europe as they are more fussy with their quality. So even we send our own stuff away, we receive the bottom end from the world and then send our best stuff back out. Weird, eh? Those English people, they're funny, and I can say that, because I count myself as one of them. Okay, after halfway through the show, the main event, that lady was absolutely right who gave that feedback about the show. Get a guest on or have a subject. It can take ages to get there. Some people have already lost the will to live to find out about Martinhal, but not us, not those who are still here this morning. So let's take a look at another video, shall we? And have a wonderful preview. There is Martinhal Family Hotels and Resorts. Lucky enough to stay in the Chiado one. Chiado, Lisbon. I'm going to show you a few of my family snaps from that. And look at this. This is the... I did think to myself, should I show my own snaps? I mean, they're natural and real, and they're not photoshopped or anything like that. Not that I'm suggesting any of these are, but these are some better photographers than I here. And also, when you've got pictures of the beach to take, that kind of makes things a whole lot easier, doesn't it? But look at these beautiful snaps. I'm thinking from the Sagres, certainly down south there. Some lovely pictures from the Insta. And 10 years old. I mean, we've seen I forgot Chitra Stern. We've interviewed her. She's been on the webinar with us. She has been on the morning show. She is a remarkable woman, and this is an incredible expat story, really, with what they've done with her and her husband. They've done an incredible thing, and they went into it. The backstory, as I recall, having spoken to her, is that they came to Portugal and as a couple. And here's a lovely picture of Chitra, who we spoke to, and they came to. She was talking about the development in Park of Nations, Parque da Nações, when she joined us on the show. But when they first came to Portugal, they were what is it? Dual income, no kids. They were not single, obviously they're married to each other, but they didn't have any dinkies at that time. And then they started having children in Portugal. And they no longer felt very comfortable at the Sheraton or other upmarket hotels with their screaming babies and kids, and thought to themselves, you know what? We need to start our own resort. So they did. They were in the Algarve, and they went to it. They went to developing a family resort that they would want to go to themselves. And that's a great backstory, isn't it? So hence the positioning here, I think they call it in marketing terms, the Martinhal family hotels and resorts, where screaming babies are welcome. And if you want to, the Sheraton is available for those who might wish to be free of that. But this is a specific niche developed with that in mind. Kids and families first, put that sort of orientation. And of course, what a great idea from a business point of view as well as a lovely idea for the families involved who might end up going there, as this is a hotel they would want to go to themselves. So Martinhal brand across 4 hotels and resorts in Portugal. A second promo video of the day. Check this out. This is beautiful as well. Is my mic muted? Skingong, skingong. Doesn't like a Brazilian scat in the morning. Oh, mi amor. Wow. Sorry. all I can say is wow, right? That I'm so glad the kids didn't see that video, because we had a great time in Chiado. There were loads of things there in the south, the other resorts in the Algarve, that I'm glad the kids didn't see, because oh, Dad, I want to do that as well. I'm going to show you some of my own family snaps. That's a nice view, isn't it? Although I have to say, I was in San Martino de Porto the other night, found a new restaurant in San Martino de Porto with a view not dissimilar to that, and had most amazing tuna and polvo there. It was really with a slightly different twist. But anyway, it's about Martinhal at the moment. And yes, you could be forgiven for thinking we have gone all commercial there, Louise. But we're dreaming this morning. We're looking at the high end of luxury, of what you can do in Portugal. And isn't it good to dream about it and ease your way into it? Why not? However you want to live, you might live in a quinta in central Portugal, and this might look like a very different lifestyle, but why not? A lovely weekend there. This is the beauty of Portugal, isn't it? You have the quinta experience if you want it in central Portugal, and you can go to the Algarve, or you can go to Lisbon, and you just have all these things in one country. Quite incredible. So let's have a look then at a few family snaps, shall we, of our little stay there. And yes, actually, you'll have seen from that video the incredible detailing. And I took my own photograph. I think that was one of the pictures, when you put your camera down on a desk and it produces for you the most remarkable shot of the ceiling. I think this might be one of them, but the beautiful brickwork that they've preserved and incredible contemporary modern lighting in the reception there. And this is what we were greeted with. So I arrived, we drove into Chiado. I managed to get a parking space, which was great. But look at that. I hope you can see that. Martinhal Residences. There's a beautiful contrast there on the right, the Martinhal Residences in Chiado. And then in Lisbon, the whimsy of Lisbon with the graffiti and stickers all over the road signs. Best of all worlds in Lisboa. And as you look down the hill there, going towards Pink Street and the Praça do Comércio, you see the water, you see the Tejo, Tagus, down there at the bottom of the street, and you think, I am on holiday. This is fantastic. Okay, so where next then? I'm going to try this and do this sequentially for you, so you get an idea of how the journey was for us. Forgive me for sharing holiday snaps with you. So let's have a look. Where? Oh yeah, that's you'd have seen that, the bubble car, right? In the video there. So let's have a look at the bubble car. The bar was closed. We were just shown it for the purposes of what we might enjoy next time we go. We had a sneak. It wasn't open for business or as a breakfast area because of COVID restrictions. But the kids wanted to see this amazing bubble car and had their photo taken in it as we arrived. And you get a sense of it when you arrive. The luxury of the place. And let me show you an interior. Look, here's a little nook where you can sit and read in Chiado. This is, I imagine this is very similar, whichever one you go to, whichever resort you go to. And look, isn't that nice? I can't read that. Let me blow that up so I can actually see it myself and so I can read that to you. Yeah, come create memories. That's the kids club as well, which you're able to book and get your kids in there so that you can enjoy a nice coffee. Talking of which, Mrs. M, thank you so much. A lovely coffee has just arrived. So the parents can have a drink in the bar whilst the kids are being looked after in the kids club there and make a few memories. And they do. I mean, it's just extraordinary what's available to the nippers in the as part of the stay there. What else can I show you from our snaps here and the luxurious decor? The kids' excitement upon entering the suite that we were staying in, actually. On this little snapshot, they aren't as good as the Instagram pictures you saw before, but look at this. The kids get a little backpack so they can keep hydrated with a little water bottle, and they've got a sun hat as well. Isn't that thoughtful and lovely? And of course, then the kids go into a part of the suite and they see this fantastic modular bunk bed that just folds up into the wall. I mean, I'd sleep in that, let alone the kids. And then, of course, there's the before photo and there's the after photo. Kids piling onto it to check it. Oh, I'm sleeping in the top bunk. No, I'm sleeping in the top bunk. And you have to tell them, don't you? Although it may be good to sleep in the top bunk, we've got to be careful. The perils of children sleeping in the top bunk for the first time and nervous parents sleeping by the side of them on the floor. And, of course, the play area, which you saw before. Incredible. All right. So there it is. There's that lovely brickwork and the decor. We're going into the play area here. So much for the kids to do. There's our youngest too. And there's Minnie. Absolutely delighted. There's this beautiful, it's like a great big mosquito net tent, sort of bell tent, hung from the ceiling. And the kids get to feel so comfy and cozy in there. And you know, as you would expect, we couldn't get them out of the place when we wanted to go for a little mosey around town. Other views of the rooms, very plush. I'm trying to get the subtle lighting coming in from the street there. And there's the view out of the window. There's your neighbors across the street in Chiado. Absolutely lovely. And look at that. There's a place to park your bum, watch the telly. I'm still impressed. I know some of you sort of world weary, jaundiced travel global globetrotters aren't impressed with seeing your name on the telly, but I still am. When I parked my bum on there and turned on the telly and it said, "Welcome, Carl Munson," I love that sort of stuff. And that's what happened. And then breakfast. So we couldn't, because of COVID restrictions, we couldn't eat inside the usual place where people would meet and have breakfast. So a takeaway breakfast was delivered. We specified it, or the kids did. Look, fresh orange juice, pancakes, croissant. It was amazing, the breakfast. I made a right mess of that sweet, haven't we already by that stage? Pancakes that Minnie, she's a bit of the star of the show here, with some of the things that she wanted to share with you. Here, look at that. So lovely pancakes delivered, but still warm. And there she is. She's decorated her own pancakes. So you can see by the look on her face, what a lovely time she's having. This is how princesses live. Princess Minnie. The kids really, really loved it. And here's young Sol with On the Hopscotch here. Look, check this. Is so much for the kids to do, but still a great experience for the parents as well. I had a lovely dinner meetup with the Mullises, who you remember from here, and on the way to going to see them, obviously in Chiado, you're seeing the lovely, is that a 28? It might be the legendary 28 tram walking past the Praça do Comércio. This is all within walking distance of the Chiado apartments, obviously not the Sagres ones. And then in the daytime, next day, we wandered down to the Praça do Comércio again. Look, these lovely, what is that, the vaulted walkway down by the Praça do Comércio, and in the middle there, the statues and the kids with raised fists going off into battle. With whoever that is, forgive me for not knowing. I think one of you Alfacinas will know who the gentleman is on the horse there that has been immortalized in the middle of the Praça do Comércio square there. Which, when Heronius Maximus was with us the other day, he was saying, I think it's amazing to think that people would come in their boats on the river and set up in that marketplace. That the atmosphere, wouldn't that be great to recreate that in a modern movie? The Praça do Comércio, when it was a marketplace and people were coming from far and wide to sell their herbs and spices and so on and such like. Quite incredible. So that was a lovely stay we had in Chiado. We'll have a little bit of a look. We'll dream some more and talk about the investments and some of the other developments that are going on with Martinhal. But first, of course, your comments. What do you think? This straight in, King Dom Joseph I. Fantastic. Dom José the First. Thank you very much for that, Andy. We're still talking about bananas, I think, somewhere here. Let's have a look at the banana talk. In the problem with Portuguese bananas from Madeira is they're smaller and pricier. Yeah, and it's a premium. I think a lot of us foreigners don't mind paying, Antonio F. But I understand what you're saying there, and we pay much for junk. That's what that's an assessment of the English economy, I think, and food quality there, possibly, from Andy. Well, British don't eat like fish that much, right? How very dare you, Margarita? Perhaps not compared to the Portuguese, but you know how important fish and chips is to us. But didn't we steal that from the Brits? Or was it the other way round? Bon dia from Virginia. Virginia Larson. Bon dia, alegria a todos de California. We use kiwis in pavlova dessert. Yum. And you do want that acidic twist. That's going to be there, isn't it, in a good dessert? The acidity and sweetness balance that the Portuguese kiwi is known for. Compared to EU, yeah, that's a fishy comment there. That's a lovely story, yes, with Chitra, who I was talking about earlier on, the originators of what I've just shown you. And they must be so proud. You know, this is an expat entrepreneurial story. I think they've done so much to contribute to the experience, the economy of coming to Portugal. So yeah, lovely story, says Gemini. Thanks for sharing, Carl. My absolute pleasure. And apparently I don't think I was muted, and you could hear some Brazilian scatting going on there. Which some people pay a lot of money for. I wish Finland would like more fish besides salmon or a few other varieties. Gravadlax, right? I'm missing my carapaush, of course. What's that? The mackerel, the redfish. Is that red snapper? The linguados, pescadinhas, the rabol. and the Naboca, Lulash, Patingas, Rabalos, Pescadas. No dorada in there. That's my favorite, actually, Elra. Carl, stop it. So that the Brazilian scatting was getting on some people's nerves, I think, there. Oh, this is how the man cave men greet each other, like Neanderthals, just shouting out each other's names. Frank, Joe. There's another one coming up. Mike on, Mike off. Doesn't bother Carl. That's true. And it's true. When my daughter was a teen, she wanted to start an airline for traveling families. We aren't rich, so it didn't happen. There's still time, Khadija. Yes. Is this one where actually you can sell seats to people who actually like having the back of their seat kicked? And you can match them up with children who will gladly kick the back of their seat and scream in their ear for the whole journey. Reminds me of a story of my stepdad, actually, who used to like, God bless his soul, he used to like a drink on Singapore Airlines when we're going long haul to Singapore, when, you know, people probably still do, but, you know, I think it's more of an old fashioned thing to get bladdered on a long haul flight. And this is nothing to do with, and this is another airline possibility for you know, transporting drunks around the world. But he woke up after a gin-induced semi-coma which sounds like a punctuation mark, doesn't it? A semi-coma. But there he was. He woke up and then he tried to attract the attention of my mother's of Chinese origin, of Asian origin, and he tried to alert the lady in front of him, who he thought was my mother, to the fact that he was now awake. So he reached forward with his hand and I think patted her on the head, as if to say, whisper, you know, as one does, you know, when you've had a few, you might whisper a sweet nothing through the gap in the seats and pat that person on the head thinking it's your wife. And, you know, on the old jumbo jets, if you could find a row of seats that nobody was sitting in, you could get your head down. And my mum had moved to another row of seats to get her head down for a bit on the long flight. 15 hours, is it? I don't know. I can't remember now. And dear old Bucko was patting the head of another Asian lady whose face was a picture as she turned round, but so was his when he realized. He soon sobered up. But anyway, that's not what that airline was about, Khadija. That's a great idea. A special airline for kids. It's fun hearing you, says Dominic. Oh, thank you. Soft jazz to cover the screaming. No smell of diapers or vomit emanating from the fillers. All right, Andy, there's somebody who's probably not going there. And thank you, Dominic, for your encouragement. Really adds something special to the music. I'll love it. Thank you very much. I am available for a bit of jazz scatting if anyone wants to book me. That baby back rub was with. I thought that, David. I thought that, but it's all cultural, isn't it? You know, people are much more tactile with kids in Portugal. You know, you're walking down the street and people will be patting your kids on the head, you know, maybe touching them on the shoulder. Linda, Linda. Very different to the UK where like, it's like, somebody touched my child. You know, call social services. It's very different. It's very different. And that needs to be understood and respected, I think. Does taking kids to spas really work? Do they even stand still? Well, that one was. At least for the duration of the photo shoot. It's funny how that's come to people's attention. Bellissimo. Fiona and Simon enjoying the dreaming this morning, I think. Here we go. Another man cave Neanderthal greeting. Dave! Thank you, Andy. Talking of posh hotels, a friend of mine invited me to the Villa Vita Park Hotel in Americano de Pera. It was so posh, you had to wear a tie in the... to wear a tie in a swimming pool. Well, that would have looked lovely with your mankini or your budgie smugglers pool. I hope they matched. And did they, you know, if you haven't taken your own tie, is it one of those places that's so posh where they just suddenly magic a tie out of nowhere and say, sir, might feel more comfortable in this? Or was it one of those hotels where you only wore a tie and no budgie smugglers, I wonder? Paul Richards, you and your friends. Bon dia, excuse me, from Lisbon, finally here. Excellent. And I'm going to read that two ways. I'm sure you are finally there. You are very fine, a very fine gentleman, Joe Diaz, and such good news that you're finally there as well. That's wonderful news. Well done, Joe Diaz. Where are we now? BMW is set. Oh, that's the bubble car. Very nice. Well spotted. Ipolvo. She's still going on about the fish she loves. Ipolvo, bacalhau, atún, dorada. Very good. That's finishing El Rolinda's list there. Sorry, Antonio, English computer. Oh, I see. No cedillas there or anything. It is the Armação de Pera, the posh hotel. That's the correct way of putting it. Thank you, Antonio F. Thank goodness you're here. Elra, that she's gone into full-on Portuguese. Everybody, tenho de ir supermercado específico, mas existe bacalhau secos, mas cada posta custa 25 euros. Oh, wow. Okay. So it's a bit expensive by the sound of it. The bacalhau there in the specialty supermarket in Finland. Paul Richards, wear a tie in a swimming pool. Awesome. But that's Antonio. Let's not forget that's probably all he was wearing. Kids are tough. When my son was 9, he fell out of the top bunk onto the tile floor. Didn't even wake up. Never did him any harm. Wearing a tie in the pool protects. Yes, and at the moment a mask too, I hope. Antonio F. Nestes alturas que a tuga salta. Portuguese salt, right? Sapara fora a descarrega palavreado florido. I'm lost there. I'm lost. Okay, hold on. There's a comment. There's a shouty comment from Raquel. I think she means it well, but there's a lot of capitals in. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. So yes, King Dom, as you say, the first is the man immortalized on the Plaza do Comercio. Fish and chips was a thing we adopted from a Jewish. What? What are you talking about, Andy? So it was a thing adopted from a Jewish. The Amish or the Irish? I don't know. I can't see the Amish cooking fish and chips. Can you? Jebediah, pass the salt and vinegar. I don't think so. Gary, late to the party, but better than not at all. Absolutely, Gova. Any bit of you is precious to us. Oh, Jewish heritage. Okay, not Amish. Jewish. Is that right? So fish and chips came from the Jewish heritage lineage. Very good. Like tea, the iconic British brunch that was a Portuguese queen to introduce it. That's so true, isn't it? Was it Catarina who gave the British that when she arrived in the British court to her betrothed, I believe? They were offering her gin, as the Brits do, right? It's so British, isn't it? So say, what are you drinking? And they don't mean tea. It's like, it's past 11 o'clock in the morning. What do you want? Beer, gin, sherry, or something non-alcoholic? Like what would it be? A wicked or a cheeky Vimto, but she wanted tea, and then everyone else started drinking tea because you got to follow what the Queen does, right? Amazing! What a gift to the English, tea from, I think, Queen Katarina. Fish and chips was adopted from the Jewish heritage. Okay, thank you. I think we've established that now, Andy. That's great. Hola, bon dia from Ulrika Pulig. Good morning to you. And another man cave greeting, Andrew. The Brits are in, everybody. Carolina Kirk, love the sing-along, beautiful resort, and a lovely story. Thank you, Carolina. I'm feeling very emboldened with me jazz scatting this morning. Antonio F. Yes, you missed the scatting, and Garvo. Another thing that is ridiculously expensive here is figs. I mean, really, when they're just falling from the trees here, that must be pretty galling at 27 euros a kilo. Can we send? They don't travel well, do they? By the time we send those figs from Portugal to Elra, they're going to be fig jam, aren't they? Yep, like exotic fruits there. Lol, says Antonio. I wake up at 3 a.m. to what does that mean? I watch 4 a.m. Best wake up call and in great company with you all. I've seen the great content in Expats Portugal channel. I love my GMP. Bom dia, Portugal! Yes, Raquel. Thank you so much for that encouragement. Wonderful. Carl, you understood. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Well done. Oh, I love it when that happens. Katarina, okay, the Braganza, wife of Charles II. And this is the late, well, I think it's fair to say Andy and Margarida are the latest in a long line of Portuguese English marriages. Regal, of course. I think it was the second. Okay, I'm not sure. Is that referring to a particular royal there? Elra and Goro. You can't help it, can I? Everybody. Very good. Gin came from Menorca Mahon. Really? That's Spanish, though, right? I love the show, Carl. This is truly a community party more tonight. Absolutely. A bit more serious on the webinars, though. I think you'll agree. Okay, very finally then. That's a tautology, isn't it? Is that the right word? Very finally. It is finally. Let's just have a very quick. I wanted to resolve the whole dreaming of blue chip life, of the high life. Oh, the Infanta. The child queen, right? Is that what that means? Let's just finish with a little bit more about Martinhal on the investment side. If you are loaded, and I know some of you are, although you pretend not to be, you could come into Portugal using the golden visa route and be part of what's going on in Martinhal, in the Park of Nations, the Parque de Nações. And let's bring this onto the screen now, and you can see this lovely part of Lisbon that's being developed. Same crew, same gang, Martinhal, the amazing Chitra Stern. Let's put her picture on. Let's honor her once more with what she and husband have done. Cheetah Stern. I want to call him Howard Stern. That's not right. But Mr. and Mrs. Stern, there she is, CEO of Martinhal. And they're behind them. That's Martinhal, Park of Nations, Parc de Nações. And so let's have a look at what goes on here. I do believe this is the artist's impression, and they do use the most amazing interior designers and architects. And this is the investment thing. So if you want to know more about this, martinhalresidencies.com. I'm trying to find out actually if they'll do a 12-month lease here for some of our folks in our community who might need that as part of their D7. Get back to you on that. But look, you can invest in Portugal with these guys and do that thing if you've got the wonga to invest in a property which is yours for certain parts of the year and rent it out, giving you a nice return on your investment of your golden visa entry into Portugal. I think that's how it works. And look at that view. Is that the Vasco da Gama bridge there? I think that's part of it, isn't it? Or is that just a balcony? No, I think you can see the Vasco da Gama bridge from some of these aspects, but you'll see the Park of Nations as well. There it is. There's the Vasco da Gama bridge. And what Andy will know the answer to this, but what is that? Is it a spinnaker-shaped building there? What is that incredible piece of architecture, that iconic piece of architecture that's shaped like an upstanding fish? Do please tell me. Andy will know the answer to that, I'm sure. And if not, another Alfacina will tell us. But that's if you want the urban life and a very exciting part of Lisbon, you can. I mean, my favorite shopping centers there, the Vasco da Gama shopping center, where I did you a video the other day from Portugalia. Have we got any more nice views? There we go. No bodies on that balcony at the Martinhal residences. Must fish that picture out. So look at that. Look at that. Look at that styling. I do like those leather and wood footrest armchair combos. Can you imagine sitting there and looking out over the Tejo, the Tagus like that? Isn't that beautiful? Wonderful furniture to park your bum on there. And there's an artist's impression of what it's going to look like. Beautiful, huh? Nice attention to the greenery. I think you'll agree there. And I am. Oh yes, I'm just checking that I am definitely showing this on the screen because sometimes I'm talking about something and you can't even see it. So there you go. Martinhal Resorts, martinhalresidencies.com is what you're looking at on the screen there. You've all been very, very good, as young Mr. Grace would say. We'll see you tonight for a bit of this. Let me put this back up on the screen. I know that Paul's already looking forward to it. First-hand testimony from Paula Dreyfus and from Hank and Connie, who are on tour in Portugal at the moment, and it might as well be called in the forum at the moment, the Hank and Connie show. Every alert I get about a new post in the forum, it's about Hank and Connie's journey. People are loving that, and we thank you, Hank and Connie, for being so giving and sharing it, details of your journey in there. Have a great day. Might see you tonight then at 7:30 for that webinar. And I'll see you Expats Portugal Plan People at 9, where we'll be talking about the housing requirements when you're coming over, specifically, obviously, and mostly to do with the D7 visa. I wish you a splendid day, but I can't go just yet because you keep sending me comments, which I must do. I'm not going to ignore those. John, hello, John. Lovely to be in touch with you. Bon dia from a hot and steamy Gulf of Mexico. A hot and steamy start to the day from John there. I've been to the gin factory in Mahon. She was a princess and not a queen. Was the Infanta Catarina, right? Have I got that right? Catarina de Braganza. Carl, work from home. I thought it was something much ruder than that, so that's why I kind of glossed over it a bit. Thank you, Raquel. Work from home. The kids loved it and slept for hours after the visit to the gin factory. Good old Brummy parenting there. This is being constructed in Lisbon. Already looked at the building. It's beautiful, isn't it? There's a restaurant on top. It's a hotel. But what is it? What's it called, that thing? That tower has a restaurant on top, I believe. Do we know what it's called, or have we already said? Is it called the Princess? I don't think so. Let's see if that comes up. And a major railway line. It's too near the casino for my liking. I think, yeah, he's frightened he's going to slip into his old bad ways, I suspect. They keep him away from the casino. Never been in the restaurant, so can't really recommend. What was it called, folks, that building? We'll be there tonight as well. Oh, okay, on the webinar, fantastic. Both. So beautiful places you brought today. Portugal is such a beautiful country. We had to dream. We've got to dream. We've got to keep the dream alive. Without a vision, the people perish, right? So that's what I'm doing. I'm not doing it to taunt you and wind you up, because I know it's difficult for some people to get here, but we've got to keep that dream alive, right? Got my seat confirmed tonight. Very good, Matthias. And that's a benefit and a perk, of course, of being a premium member. Well done. Myriad Hotel. I'm curious about it. So there you go. It's the Myriad Hotel. And it's actually the Torre Vasco da Gama. Of course, everything's VDG around there, isn't it? So that's the Vasco da Gama Tower at 145 meters high. Thank you very much, Thunderduck, corroborating that. There is time only now for me to play this. 5 minutes over. We're not doing too badly on the timekeeping. That's another characteristic of this show, isn't it? Innuendo, Carl reading out the comments, not having a very good focus and drifting over time. But as you said earlier on, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's go out with this and see you later on. And if not tonight, see you in the morning with Mia Eshmirez to learn a little bit of Portuguese. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now. You've been amazing. Bye. The intro. Carl, ideally you want to be playing the outro, which is this one.